I'm Samarra Khaja, illustrator, graphic designer, and author, and I'm going to show you today some thread sketching, quilt doodling, that type of thing. A really fun way that you can use your thread to embellish and accent your projects. I wanted to show you, this is specifically a tic-tac-toe set that I made, and what we're going to do is I'll show you how I made the game board. It is a really great way to use up thread that you have. I'm going to use neon on this because it's going to make it pop nicely. And I've prepared a board here that we're going to sketch on. One thing you might consider is using a different fabric for the reverse side. And we will now measure where we want to have our arrows going for this project. So I made this 15 inches square. And again, with this, it doesn't have to be accurate, but it is nice too. This is a nice even 15 inches, so everything can be divided nicely into thirds. So I'm going to draw my guidelines this way. And then the reverse side, in the opposite direction. Okay, so once you have that, we'll head over to the sewing machine and I'll show you how to have some fun with some thread sketching. All right, I'm going to begin, I think I'm going to start right about here. Now the fun thing about this, I use a wider stitch, a longer stitch, for example, because I think it shows up much better from a distance, and it's just kind of a nice opportunity to play around with your thread length. And there is no right way or wrong way to do this. With the thread sketching, you can totally just sketch to your heart's content. And if something seems wrong, if you made your line in the wrong place, you can go back. I like sketching over stuff multiple times because it gives a looser feel to everything. And in this case, I decided, in addition to having the fabric be different on both sides, I've used a different color thread in the bobbin. So I have this great neon pink on the underside that I'll show you when we're done, and this neon orange on top. And I'm just using a standard foot. I'm not free motion stitching. You can do that if you like to, but it's really easy to get the same effect and do the same thing just with standard stitching. I'm going to jazz it up a little bit, add a little bit more detail. Okay. All right. One more. All right. Okay. So this gives you a sense of what you can do with the thread sketching. And as I said to you, I used a neon orange on the top and a pink on the bottom. So then you can see this kind of gives you a different feel on the back, which is fun as well. So after you do that, you can finish up the board game itself using this technique. And then another thing you can do is, in this case, I made little bean-filled game pieces, little heart shapes. But if you want, you can also use the same thread technique and make little game pieces with the same approach, which is also, it's not only functional, but it's cosmetic. So you're actually top quilting, you're quilting everything in place and the batting while you're also making it visually more interesting. So I will show you how to make a game piece. And what we'll do here is just going to assemble a piece of batting along with the top and bottom. I do have two different colors of fabric for the front and back for the same kind of variety. I'm using the same different thread colors, the neon orange in the top and neon pink in the bottom, just again to create some variety. And you'll find when people are playing with these games, there's sometimes people are quite particular about which color they want to use and which side is theirs and which color is their preferred game piece color. So it's nice to give an option by making them contrasting. So that is how you start by making the little game piece. And what you do then is you just snip off the corners, fold it right side out. And I have one here that I have already assembled, and I've turned it right side out and ironed it flat. And I'm going to show you how we can stitch a heart shape on it for one of the game pieces. And the final spot there. All right. This gives you a sense of how the game pieces would work. This is just a quick version of the heart. This is what it looks like finished. I like to go around multiple times, and there are your game pieces for fun tic-tac-toe with thread sketching.